Page 19, Shadow Dance. It's another challenging little piece. This time you're going to be moving the hands around a bit. We need practice of moving the hands around anyway. We haven't done much. Well, let's look the piece over first. Let's go through our routine in learning a piece of music. This is almost 3 lines long. We're back to treble and bass clef again. 2/4 times. We're only counting to 2. We're counting quarter notes. And we got eighth notes and quarter notes all over the place. And a few half notes. So we're counting 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. The no sharps or flats in the key signature. We're in the key of C major, but we got accidentals all over because we got half steps. Remember half step? I want to take it one hand at a time because, again, we're moving all over the place and it gets a little tricky. You're starting out with the third finger of the right hand up here. That puts your hand here. That's just to start. We're not going to stay there. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then you get a 3-beat rest. Remember the whole rest? The whole rest can be the same as a whole note, and that it represents 4 counts, or it can be like just representing a whole measure, regardless of how many counts are in it. And during the rest, while the left hand is playing, you're coming down here to this position. And during that rest, you got 2 beats of rest there while the left hand is playing. Now you're going to come up to this position. Just come up 1 key. So this is the second line, second measure here. Rest, and during that 1 beat rest, you come back up where you were at the beginning. You're going to do that some more. And then at the end, you got some rest. You come back up here into this position. So 2 and 3 are here, and it's just here. 2. Just F is all it is. Okay. The left hand, well, you're starting out with treble clef, so you're up here, 2, and it's an F sharp. During the beat, while right hand is playing, you're going to come down here in second. In this position. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. And then during the rest, you got to come up a little bit. So you're in this position. You want thumb on E here. So you say, this is where you're after. And then another little bit of rest. And you come back up like you were at the beginning. Back here, second finger at the last line here on here. And stay here. Here. So you're moving around in each hand. Let's talk about that because this gets tricky. You start moving around, you lose track of where you are, and you don't know where the notes are and what's going on. And this is a good example why reading finger numbers doesn't work. You've got to read the notes. So here, you're starting out in this position. Here, sort of. But as I'm playing this in the left hand, as I'm playing it, I got to get the right hand down here. And that's an E. They're in each other's way. Well, good luck. They just have to learn to get along. Is that all? Here and then here. And as I'm playing this, I'm getting the left hand down. So I've moved quite a bit. And the kicker is, how can you do that and not hesitate and not... Because you got to play this, and you can do this. Now you got to look down to see where the hand is going to do that, and then you got to look down again to see where the left hand is going. And we got to do it without the hesitations. So what I do is I start out okay, and as I'm playing this, I already looked ahead to see what those notes are in the next measure, and I'm getting the left hand there. And then as I'm playing the left hand notes, I'm looking up to see what's coming in the... And I see the half note is C, so as I'm playing this, I can get my left hand here. So I'm kind of looking at the music, looking down, looking at the music, looking down. You don't have to look down for a long time. Just glance at it. You know what a keyboard looks like. You don't have to study it. It's the music you want to... I mean, ideally, you memorize it, but I'm trying to get you into the idea of looking at the music and looking down, looking at the music and looking down. That is another skill we have to develop. And then you keep going. Now, the right hand had to move up one. So as you're doing this, now hopefully you'll develop where the feel where you can go up or down one note on the keyboard without looking. That helps. It helps a lot, because here the right hand just comes up one. You don't even have to look at the keyboard on that one. You just, and then as this is doing, you're looking to make sure you're in position for the you look ahead to see what's coming up in the left hand, and you see that, and you're in position. So that's together and that's together. During the rest, then the right hand come back and you're going to do that again. Now you're pretty much staying there, except the right hand's got to come up here. You don't have to go that fast. It's just, the idea is you're getting into the habit here of looking up and looking down and looking up and looking down, and doing it without any hesitations in the beat eventually. It takes a little time to get to. This is tricky. So once you have that, a few hundred years or whatever, you do the articulation. Connect this, slurs. That quarter note's a full beat. Don't cut it short. Just because you're lifting up doesn't mean you cut it short. And then separate that from the... So there's a little silence between each of these. See? But it's not a short staccato. No, if they wanted that, they would have put in staccatos. So you got to hang on to that last note. Now you get staccatos. Hinge at the wrist, staccato. Slur staccato. Now it's a staccato. Staccato. And at the end, you get staccato and slur. There, that's tricky. That takes a little bit of practice to get that, because your hands are doing different things and it gets all mixed up. I have a terrible time with that, because I always want to do the same thing in each hand. And I've struggled with that since I was little. I've struggled with that. But I know that if I keep at it slowly, it does come. I can train the brain to get the hands to do different things at the same time. Now, once you sort of have the articulation, we think about the dynamics. MP, mezzo, piano, sort of soft, whatever you think that. And this is the melody, which in this case, it's pretty much both hands. Now that you've got these hairpins, well, in the middle of it is this. That's your loudest part. So I'm only going to go up to about a moderately loud here. So it's moderately soft, moderately loud. Then come back down. And now I'm at moderately loud. And now there's a hairpin, and I suggest here, I don't want to go up to very loud. You're up moderately loud on the second measure of the last line. If you want to come down just a little bit so you got more room, you're going to go up to loud. Right there. And you're going to end it loud. And here really is the left hand. That's the melody. So if you want to play the right hand a little softer, that's okay. And you end it loud. Then finally, the speed. Well, on top of it, this just gets better and better, don't it? Animato is animated, which is quite quickly. But it's got to be accurate. So what is your animated? Don't go faster than you can play it correctly. Don't play it my animated. You got to play it your animated. That's my animated. That's not necessarily what you got to do. If you're this, if that's your animated, that's close enough. Yeah. Just feel animated, I guess. Let's play it together very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I will do the staccatos and slurs though. So I'll give us 2 counts. Ready, go. That's 2. Now let's try it very slowly together. Ready and go and 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and. and rest.